On the Good Time 3 next month, we're going back out on the lake for this year's Alan Cox Show cruise. Captain Fun's Floating Fandango, presented by Circle K. We're going to have prizes and drinks and food and music. Matitude's going to spin. We're on a bigger boat. Ooh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I got a couple of Circle K ticket stops in the next few weeks as well, if you haven't won yet. So go to WMMS.com for all the details on that. This pair for you now to join us. You want to guess if you are caller 10. Good luck. We'll see you there. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Are you trying to make us all uncomfortable?
Alan Cox.
It's gross. It's weird. It's not right. It's not cool.
And there's plenty more where that came from. Back to the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Boy, nothing will put you in a better mood than some talking heads, boy. Mary tells me that all the time. Like, why don't we play more talking heads during the show? The ducks are loaded. Listen to American Utopia when I took Gwen a couple of years ago for her birthday. Saw it on Broadway. One of the greatest shows I've seen in my entire life. I'm not a live theater guy, but that's a completely different kind of show than going to see, you know, Les Mis for the 4,000th time or whatever. But it's awesome. So good. Next week on the show, I will have more tickets for you to join us on the cruise. Since you have to win them now. We did have a bunch of tickets that were available for sale. Those went pretty quickly. So I will have more tickets for you next week. I will also have tickets. Oh, King Diamond. Boy, I couldn't be more excited about this. King Diamond has announced the 2024 tour that will come to the Agora on November the 6th. And I will have those tickets for you next week. I've already got mine. I'd love to see you there. 4-packs for the Guardians when they're going to play the Texas Rangers end of the month. And if you want to go see Megadeth, the Destroy All Enemies tour, presented by 2 Hours to Midnight in WMMS. That is September 22 over at the Cleveland Masonic. Megadeth and All That Remains. No metal show this Saturday night, by the way. I'm out of town, so we'll be back next Saturday night. If you are into metal, I hope you've hooked up with us on Saturday. It's called 2 Hours to Midnight, and it's 120 minutes of nothing but metal. Local stuff and new stuff and classics and all of it. So we will be back next Saturday night. Congratulations to the city of Cleveland, Ohio. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. National Geographic was doing a big story on... by the way, I don't know how many more people are going to be working at National Geographic. They're part of the whole company that owns ABC. They're really swinging the axe. So I don't know how much longer National Geographic is going to be around in any form whatsoever. But they did this big article. And they've done them before, but I mean, they always kind of drill down on, the coming climate crisis. Coming, of course, in quotes, because for the most part it's here. And they talk about... cities that will be considered the most livable when you're looking decades down the road with respect to climate change. And Cleveland, Ohio is on a very, very short list. And as more of these articles are written, you start to see the same 4 and 5 cities pop up, and Cleveland is among them. It's usually come down to Buffalo, Cleveland, Ann Arbor, Michigan, go blue, and Duluth, Minnesota.
Wait a minute.
I mean, we're right on Lake Erie. You know, if you're on the Great Lakes, you're going to be an essential United States city in a couple of decades.
Are you telling me New York City's not on this list? of the most
It's not
sustainable for.
It's not on this list, but Mary, it's on so many lists. It's on the list of.
Interesting.
I mean, the number one theater district, of course, Cleveland number 2, the number one theater district in the country. And what do they mean, by the way? I hear it all the time, and I'm not sure what they mean. They mean size-wise, where they go, Cleveland's got the second largest theater district in the country.
And probably the quality of show that comes through.
Well, they always say it, though, in more of like a square footage sense. Is that what they mean? But is that what they mean?
Probably. As far as largest?
Like
yeah,
size
that's
biggest.
What that would
okay.
mean.
I didn't know if they meant like number of theaters or like size if you were to map it out. I don't know.
I'm not a theatricist, Alan.
I mean, you could have fooled me with the deep, intense, late-night conversations that you and I have had on the history of American live theater, and now you got to come to me and pretend like you don't know any of it.
Sorry, brother. It's not who I am.
Listen, you'd never know it from being at Edgewater Beach, but Cleveland, with its direct access to quote-unquote fresh water, it's going to make this a very, very popular place. And, of course, the Cuyahoga River is much cleaner than it was even 10 years ago. And here's the beauty of it, is that people here in Ohio can really benefit, and I know you know this. I'm not a native Ohioan, but I've been here for a minute. I know you know this, that the state can really benefit from being consistently underestimated. If you're not on people's radar, that's a good thing. Because when the shrimp hits the fan down the road, we're going to be ripe for people to come in here and start putting giant industrial straws into Lake Erie. And I think as a community, as a city, as people who call this place home, I don't think we want anybody coming in and sucking off our lake. I think that would be something that would draw an immediate backlash when your industrial interests collide with those of the people. You know, but you'll see it a lot online. People are like, hey, I'm thinking of moving to Cleveland. I want a place that looks cool. I'm moving from here. I'm living here now, and I'm thinking about Cleveland. I went for work for the weekend, and I just loved it. And I have friends who went to college there, and they said it's awesome. So you do see more and more of that. People are like, I'm moving from New Orleans. Because people, especially in the South and the West in this country, they're done with the hurricanes and the air like pea soup in the summer and not being able to get their homes insured because of weather. Speaking of which, I heard from one of our bureau chiefs down in the great state of Texas, the fun that they're having when the hurricanes come through is, or storms of, that size, always displaces species from one place to another. Up here in the north, you'll start to see animals and insects and things that aren't indigenous to the area, but the weather has brought them up here. And then they just kind of take root. In Texas, they're contending with huge waves of poisonous hammerhead worms.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That sounds like an
Right.
Australian thing. Get that out of here. I hate that.
It might be an Australian thing. That's the point. The hurricanes have blown these things all over the place.
Probably not from Australia, though.
You don't think so?
I mean, that seems pretty far.
Poisonous hammerhead worms. And they regenerate. So if you chop them in two, you get two worms, making it more difficult. Now, here's a solution, I think. Fire. Or a way to extract the poison so you can then use them for food.
I'm going to go with fire.
Well, but that might just cook them. Maybe, what if that cooks the poison out of them?
Why do you want to eat the gross worms?
I'm saying we're all going to have to be eating bugs down the road.
But we don't have to right now, so let's just get rid of the
Fine.
invasive species
Fine.
and not let it run amok.
You don't want a
No.
hammerhead worm and laffa wrap?
No.
No.
No?
No.
Not even with some cilantro aioli?
And I bet
Come on, that's sweetening the deal. That's pretty good.
and if it were to come down to it, I'm sure the poison cooks out.
That's what I'm saying.
But does it with pufferfish? Don't they have
I
to
don't
cut
know.
that right?
Well, they have to prepare it in a very
Yeah.
specific way, so you don't end up with a serpent in the rainbow type situation. They talked to a woman with the Texas Invasive Species Institute, or TC, and she said, yeah, these worms, all these storms coming through, Hurricane Beryl down there in Houston and whatnot, they're bringing in all kinds of weirdo bugs. And the most recent, the hammerhead worm. They secrete toxins that can be fatal. Now, they won't kill people, but it can really, really aggravate your skin, and it can be fatal to pets. And they carry parasites, which is always fun, because the parasites are what are going to get you. If you're watching the live stream, you'll see that the name hammerhead worm is not a misnomer. It's right there. It looks like it ate something else, and it's coming to get you. Chop it into two, you get 2 worms. What if you put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer?
Why?
Because then you got frozen worms for smoothies and stuff.
Nobody wants that.
Are you-
Literally nobody.
Are you sure?
Yes.
5 years ago, people were saying nobody wants to eat crickets.
And
And
still
now
nobody does.
Everybody's eating crickets.
No one's eating
No
crickets.
one's eating crickets.
When we were up north in the UP last weekend, we went to the mystery spot in St. Ignace, and they had this big old gift shop. And you know what they had? They had boxes of flavored cricket snacks. They had cheddar barbecue. They had sour cream and chive, I think were the flavors. I took a photo. So
Why didn't you buy any?
I did.
Why aren't you snacking on it right now?
I already
With
ate
your-
all
with
of
your,
them.
Your soup salads.
I ate I ate all of my squeezy salads.
Yeah, squeezy
I already
salads.
ate all of them.
Mm.
No, they were, what was the brand called? It was like, oh, there it is. Crickets. Sour cream and onion. Salt and vinegar was the other one. Those were the 2 I bought. And I'll tell you what, if you like your, and I know people do, if you like your snacks crunchy, you will have to floss out the antenna later on. But I'll tell you what, it's never too soon. So you're right. The hammerhead worm is not, they're native to Asia. Not even Australia. And some of them come in on plants. Some of them get blown into the country. And you know how difficult that can be to do. But they're here.
Bill, I love the idea of the hot tub at melt. But I want a floating table in the middle of the hot tub so everyone has to work together to keep their soup in their bowl. Also, instead of serving beverages in glasses, butt chug stations. Just an inversion chair, a funnel, and a hose, and you figure it out.
This is why I love our customers, because
People
so
always
many people have hit me up about the love of the hot tub melt restaurant.
Grilled cheese restaurant.
Yeah. And this guy's just full of amazing ideas.
Now, you can't have too much of a good thing, though. So while the root of the idea is fantastic, I think
and practical.
adding butt chug stations, though.
Oh,
that's
here
where
comes
you're
Alan to yuck the yums of
Here
the
he
regular
comes.
man.
I'm just
We're
trying
just trying
to
to come up with a great idea for butt chug
But you have a
stations.
great idea. You've got the tub and chug or whatever it's called. You have the tub and grub, the
Yeah, and
the hot tub grilled cheese restaurant.
And then having some butt chug stations takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. By the way, devotion to accuracy. I forget that it is August 1st, and I keep saying that the Captain Fun's Floating Fandango is next month. It is now this month.
Oh.
It's unbelievably August 1. And so it is in 3 weeks. So I will try to remember that. The Great Lakes Compact ensures that no state or Canada will sell off water. Ah, yes. You know how people adhere to centuries-old compacts when the water wars start. They were like, you can't take our water. We have a signed compact. And they'll shoot you in the face. And steal your hammerhead worms, eat your salt and vinegar crickets, and drink your water. Alan, please tell Mary that's a long-ass caption on Instagram. What does that mean?
I posted a thing today, and I felt a lot of words, so I put them on there.
Oh, boy. Was it a post-therapy post?
No.
Oh.
Don't start with me.
I'm not.
Alan.
I'm asking a question. I'm not starting.
Would you leave therapy and had feelings like an idiot?
I didn't, Bill. I didn't
Context.
say that.
Tone.
I didn't say that.
Tone.
I said, was it a? You said I had a lot of
All
words.
right, if you're gonna fight with him, at least sit up.
No, I'm not going to sit up.
Is she lying down?
She's just leaning.
I'm just
She's
lounging.
lounging.
Look at her. I need to really be comfortable, so I'm alert.
Yeah. No, it was about like our conversation yesterday about how I can't seem to find a balance between work and life. Like in Ohio, life is great and comedy is not the best. And then here, comedy's amazing and I don't have anybody. So it was just like a little reminder to myself. I like listed my accomplishments and like, hey, here's everything I've done. Here's a picture where I look hot. I'm doing okay.
On Instagram.
So, yeah.
So not a reminder to yourself.
It is to myself. It's my Instagram page.
Right, but
Post whatever I want.
you can write it down and look at it.
Yeah, but I also want other people to know too.
That's what I'm
It's for
saying.
me and everyone.
I see. Okay,
For
I
all
understand.
people.
I mean,
it's for
yeah.
all people.
I hadn't seen it. I was just trying to clarify. For
Yeah.
all people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
all. It was a lot of words. It was long. I was like, hey, New York sucks. I'm sad here. I'm not having a good time.
Yep.
But comedy's really good. I miss everybody at home. But hey, here's some of my cool accomplishments I've already done. And I need to remind myself that I'm doing okay.
When you see them written out, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
When you see it like in, black and white, because it's not paper, but I was going to say when you see it on paper, but
You should also put it on paper, but use like a fun, jaunty pink pen.
aw.
Because you're a girl,
Yeah, I am a girl.
Yeah.
Thanks for noticing.
You're welcome. Hey, Smitty.
Yes, sir.
Boy, we don't get enough Smitties around here.
Well, you got an old-fashioned one right here.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, I got the message for Bill Squire.
Yo.
I was going around YouTube, and first time I ever watched his show. I found one, and I watched it. And I tell you what, that guy's pretty damn funny. I just wanted to tell him that. All this time, I've been listening to your show for years and years, and I'm like, I got to look up Bill and listen to him. But last night, for some reason, I got that bite in the bug there, and I looked him up, and he is pretty damn funny.
Well, thank you.
You've been sleeping on Bill Squire Live this whole time, Smitty.
Hey,
Better late than never.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't watch Mary yet.
okay.
I didn't want to be overwhelmed. So
I'm
I'm
gonna
thinking
get
I'm going to hit.
overwhelmed.
There's
Mary's
al-
also very funny.
There's
Very
only so
overwhelming.
much of Smitty to go around.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So I'm going to probably hit Mary up tonight and
Okay.
see what she's all about. And
Check
then
it out,
when you
brother.
guys come back live, I'll call back in and give my critique on Miss Santora.
We
love
will
that.
wait with bated breath, Smitty.
Having somebody named Smitty approve of my comedy actually is doing a lot more
Yeah.
for me than I thought it would.
It's Smitty approved.
Smitty approved, man. So, can I ask, is that like your last name or a play on your last name? Like, how'd you get the nickname Smitty? Or are you named Smitty?
My last name is Smith.
Okay. And everybody just calls you Smitty?
Everybody calls me Smitty.
Love it.
His name is Smithington, Bill. His full name is Smithington Stinkwinkle. All right, thank you, Smitty.
Thanks, Smitty.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a great weekend.
You too.
It's good to be Bill Squire. It always feels right when he's in the spotlight.
Boy, that's one of those calls you take and then you get just kind of pucker because you don't know where they're going. Because all my screen said it was Smitty.
Smitty.
Wants to talk to Bill.
What up, Smitty?
And you hope for the best,
Anybody
but you
else
don't know.
has been sleeping on Bill Squire? Just search Bill Squire. Or go to BillSquire.com. Come see me live. I got a bunch of shows coming up.
Uh-huh.
Do another one of them reverse crowd work shows at Hilarities in a couple weeks.
Is that where you stand with your back to the crowd?
No, stupid.
Yes, it
no, it's where the
is.
audience asks me questions and then I answer them
I see.
in a funny way.
Are
It's
they
a
funny
lot of fun.
questions?
They can be.
Yeah.
They can be. There's lots of different questions. Last time, Mary asked a fun question. That was good.
Yeah, but you know she's going to ask a funny question.
I'm not asking anything.
It wasn't even like it was a good question. It wasn't necessarily a funny question, but it gave me a lot of room to be funny with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. It was very fun. So get those tickets, BillSquire.com. Mary, aren't you doing something at Hilarities?
Oh my God, Bill! I'm headlining there Thanksgiving weekend.
What?
November 29th and 30th.
That's enough time that you could go in August and then again in November.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
Oh boy. Well, that's exciting.
You're exciting.
Me?
Yeah.
I know that. I know. Alan, I saw a
Yeah.
dead rat the size of a cat while I was kayaking yesterday, so I'm not sure how clean the Cuyahoga really is. Listen,
No,
baby.
we didn't say it was clean. We said it's cleaner.
Cleaner, yeah.
Yeah.
Baby steps. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's probably not flammable now. You probably could have lit that rat on fire, but people are out there. They might not be swimming in it, but they look like they're having fun. And that's what it's really all about, is out there having fun.
Hi, Becky from Wayne County, following up to your conversation about pharmacists. I worked at multiple pharmacies, but the first one I worked at was, I was right out of high school, and the pharmacist on my first day passed out while I was checking a customer out, and my friend who was a pharmacy tech took an apple, threw it in the garbage can to wake him up, just like she did, sounds like pretty frequently, and he got up and acted like nothing happened. Bye.
Wait, what? The pharmacist fell asleep?
It sounds like they
Like a
passed
narcoleptic
out.
pharmacist?
I took it as like a medical. I
On
don't know what that
drugs?
was.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh. All right. Oh, maybe she's referring to Mary's theory that pharmacists just can bend down and
Steal
put
pills.
One for you, one for
pills
me.
they dropped
One for
in
you,
their
one for
mouth.
me.
Yeah. As if there are no cameras
Mhm.
or state boards that come in and do audits. I have to assume that there are. Maybe that guy was faking falling asleep. He's like, I gotta something. All right. Well, I'm not quite sure what she was getting at, but thank you. You can always leave those messages on the app, the iHeartRadio app, little talkback button there. Thank you. I'm going to break here. I'm going to have those Primus